What did your unit paint on a vehicle that command made you remove? A 6-foot cartoon possum holding a wrench and winking, painted across the entire side of our recovery truck. His name was Gerald, and getting rid of Gerald turned into the dumbest 3 weeks of my entire enlistment. So it started because our tow truck was the ugliest vehicle on the whole base. Old dented, one headlight always crooked so it looked cross-eyed. Our mechanic, a guy named Dwyer, decided it needed a face. He was actually a really good artist. Spent a whole weekend on it. By Monday there was this grinning possum in coveralls on the door, wrench in one paw, thumbs up with the other. Underneath he wrote, "Gerald says she'll start eventually." We loved him. Everybody loved him. Guys from other companies walked over just to look. For about 2 months, Gerald was the most popular thing on base. Then a colonel saw it. He didn't yell. That was the scary part. He just stopped, stared, and said very quietly, "What is that?" Not a question. Dwyer straightened up. "That's Gerald, sir. Get it off. Vehicles carry unit markings and bumper numbers, not cartoons. You have until Friday." So we started sanding Gerald off, except Dwyer had used real automotive paint, the good stuff, sealed under clear coat. That possum was not going anywhere. We sanded for 2 days and only managed to make him look worse. Now he had one eye half gone and his grin was smeared into something genuinely disturbing. Half Gerald was scarier than full Gerald. The colonel came back Thursday, looked at the smear. "That is worse. That is so much worse. Fix it." "Sir, we're trying to remove it. I don't care what you do. I don't want to see a face on that truck." So here's where it went sideways. We couldn't sand him off, and we couldn't leave the melted nightmare version. So the motor sergeant made a call. Just repaint the whole panel. Solid green. Cover him. Fine. Except the only paint we could sign out that week was a shade of green that did not match the truck at all. Way brighter. Now we had a truck that was one color everywhere except one enormous lime green door. The colonel saw that Monday. "Why is there a green door covering the possum, sir? It looks like a different truck welded onto this truck." "Yes, sir." He pinched the bridge of his nose. "Make it match." To make it match, we had to repaint the entire truck. The whole thing, which meant it was out of service, which meant when a fuel truck broke down out on the range that Friday, our recovery vehicle was up on blocks, half primered, drying. They had to send one from 2 hours away. That got noticed. A general noticed, and the general came to the motor pool personally to ask why his only wrecker was disassembled and painted like a school bus. The colonel had to stand there and explain out loud to a general that the truck was out of service because he had ordered the removal of a cartoon possum. I have never in my life watched a man age that fast. He kept trying to make it sound operational. "There was an unauthorized marking that required correction, sir." "A marking? A painted figure, sir." "What figure?" Long pause. "A possum, sir." The general walked around to the one panel we hadn't repainted yet, the original door. Gerald fully intact, winking, wrench up. "She'll start eventually." The general looked at it for a long time, and then this stone-faced two-star man snorted. Actually snorted. Tried to cover it with a cough and failed. "My first truck in this same job 30 years ago," he said. "We had a duck. Named him Winston. Full sailor hat. Some colonel made us scrub him off too." He turned to our colonel. "You know what happened to that colonel? But I remember Winston." Then he pointed at Gerald. "Leave that panel. Match the rest of the truck to it, not the other way around. And I want the bumper numbers where regulation says, right under his boots." The colonel opened his mouth, closed it. "Yes, sir." So we didn't remove Gerald. We rebuilt the entire truck around him. Repainted every panel to match his door. Dwyer touched up his face, sharpened the wink, and per the general's instructions, painted the regulation bumper numbers in a neat little row right below Gerald's feet so it looked like he was standing on them. The general came back the day we finished, walked a slow lap around the truck, hands behind his back, inspecting it like a parade, stopped at the door, nodded once. Then he handed Dwyer a folded piece of paper. It was a photo, cracked and yellow, 30 years old. A young mechanic standing next to a tow truck. And on the door, hat and all, winking back at the camera, was Winston the duck.